What's up, everybody, man? Once again, welcome to another one where we're talking to people that only maybe a year ago or less, they didn't have any wholesale experience, they didn't any wholesale deals, and now they're out here either getting one, two, or multiple deals. And this one right here is special for me because this guy that I'm about to bring up and he's going to share his story is really the first person that started with me. Before the course really, became the course. He was like the first person that really hit me up and was like, hey, I need to learn about this wholesaling thing. We started talking about actually a book because I wrote a book and he was looking to write a book, and it transitioned into this real estate thing, this conversation. And man, it just took off from there. A friend of mine, a brother of mine, man, we played football together. We grew up in the same town, Plainfield, New Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. And so, without further ado, I'd like to bring my boy on, Jason Bellin. So, Jay, what's going on, family?
What's up, my brother, man? We're here to talk real estate tonight, to try to motivate some people about wholesaling and getting them started in the business. The road may be tough, but only the strongest survive. So
that's true. Very true, man. So, before we get started, man, tell everybody about who you are and where you're out of. Actually, I kind of told them you're from Jersey, but a little bit about your story.
My name is Jason. I'm in central New Jersey area. Me and Tommy played football together. Hubbard, lived on Sherman. They was around the corner on Sheridan. So pretty much neighbors, grew up in the same neighborhood, played high school football together. We grown men now, just trying to take care of our families. And I reached out to him because I was going through a situation on my job where they was upset at me buying a German car. So I was suspended for a week, and that interrupted my money flow of my household. So I'm sitting home scratching my head what's next? And Dame Dash came on. I was talking about long as you continue to work for somebody else, that they're handing you a check, they're in control of your household. And I was like, wow, I was like, that is so true. I'm sitting here right now living in it. So I picked up the phone, read Tommy's book, seen what he was doing, and I said, I want to write a book. Let me pick his brain, or let me talk to him about how to go about it. And we started talking about a book, and then he was telling me about, well, have you heard about wholesaling? I'm like, nah, what is that? And then that's when we went into the discussion about wholesaling, and he broke it down on how to do a deal, how to do the comps, everything, and it just really kicked off from there. And I did 2 deals towards the end of the year, my first year. And now,
before we get to that, because you fast forward and past a lot of stuff. Because I think the biggest value of this is hearing the struggle, right? Is hearing the hard parts about it, right? The things that everybody likes to show the end result. But right. Bro, I remember, I think we started, your first deal was in November, and we started, I think we had that conversation in March or something like that, right?
Yeah. Yep. In March.
So it's 6 months or so, roughly around 6 months of you going at this thing. Tell me about those 6 months.
6 months, I had, I messed up a lot, left a lot of money on the table, messed up a couple of deals because that's just trial and error. But the great thing about it, I was taking action. I had a building under contract. I was going to make probably $20,000 on assignment. And the buyer didn't show up to the meeting. I had everything all set up perfect for him. We had the meeting. All he had to do is leave the deposit and sign the contract. So we're sitting there at the seller's crib, and the guy says, I'm in Walmart. I'm like, okay. We had a meeting 2 hours ago. Are you going to show up? And he was like, well, I changed my mind. I don't want the property. So, that messed up my credibility a little bit with the seller, because this guy owns plenty of properties in Plainfield and other places. So, I lost that deal right there. And then I went to a couple of other deals. One was in Newark, and I did try to do a JV deal with another guy. And he actually,
JV for everybody's joint venture. We got to, some people might not know, but go ahead.
So we try to, I try to do a joint venture with the guy. He's been doing it longer than me, so he's seen that I wasn't seasoned, and I didn't get anything in writing. So he went on and closed and made the money without me, and basically changed his Google number or whatever. I called him like, bro, I'm gonna get my 5Gs and boo, 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 beep. I'm like, oh man.
He hit you with the mob bell.
Yeah.
Joint.
Joker got me. So make sure you get stuff in black and white. It's very important to use that ink pen and get your copy. And that's some of the things that I went through before I got my first deal. And I got my first deal in November. It was a property in South Carolina. Wasn't even in New Jersey. It was in South Carolina, and I made $10,000. And
so from March to November, like it was just like I try, I fail, I try, I fail, I try, I fail. 6 months of trying and failing, and then I remember because we got our coaching calls. You came on our coaching call in November, and how many deals did you do in November?
I actually did 3.
3 deals in 1 month.
In 1 month.
And so, talk to me about that first deal. What did that feel like while you were sitting there and you're like, wow, this thing is actually closing. I'm getting ready to get this check. What was that like?
It was like having on 3 weight vests and you just taking them all off one at a time. Once they made that phone call, come and get your check, that was 1 vest off. Then going on the elevator, another vest off. Then getting that check put in your hand, it's just a breath of fresh air, man.
That's
$10,000.
I'm gonna use that. That's a good analogy because I can really picture that. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool. So it's like you're getting in there, man. You got all this stuff going on. You've had all this bad experiences with other investors pulling out of the deal and stealing the deal, and you're like, man, is this ever going to close? And It closes the very first time. How does that affect the way you wholesale in the future? How does that affect your confidence once you get that first deal done?
Once you get the first deal done, it really, you look at the things, you try to stop the things that you did wrong. So you write them down. Okay, what did I mess up on this deal? A, B, and C, and you go through that, you write that down. Okay. Now, when you starting on the next deal, you make sure you go back that you're not making those same mistakes again. You're going to continue to make mistakes. We're human beings, but you always got to get up. If you stay laid down, you'll never get anywhere in life. That's just point blank. And I was determined I'm going to be good at this because this is not for everybody. I'll be honest. I know people who just they went back to working their job. I can't take it. I'm too stressed out and all that. But you have to have the mental toughness and you have to be a negotiator. But that's all we are. You want to have to solve people problems. I got some good deals this year just off of talking to people. I called one lady. And she was listening to gospel music. And I was like, oh, that's my song. And I said a couple lines from the song. So she started laughing. And she was like, I said, well, since me and you like the same type of music, let me sell your house for you. She's right. She started laughing. Then that's how I was able to lock her down and get the appointment and, go out to her property. And I sold the property.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest things we talk about in the course is our 5-minute focus, right? It's just focusing on building a rapport with someone before we start trying to talk business. And people do business with people that they like, know, and trust, right? And so when you first approach someone and they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, you gotta employ some of those tactics. And that's one of the biggest things that I see with new wholesalers or just new investors in general, that they just go straight for the numbers, they just go straight for business, and they don't really build any rapport. And you're always going to lose with that. You're really always going to lose unless you like
a car salesman, or you selling vacuum cleaners. Nobody wants that type of person because you don't care.
You don't care.
And I tell people I deal a lot in pre-foreclosures. That's where I do most of my business at. And it's a touchy situation. People are losing their property and stuff like that. You can't come off like that. You'll get cursed out, a door slammed in your face, or something like that. And you got to have this community is very small. Now, me selling this one lady house, what she did, she went to church and told another lady. And that lady, oh, okay, I'm going to call him. Oh, I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have people bringing me deals. I haven't really been out hunting because people are bringing me deals.
There you go.
Oh, this is a good guy. Your reputation precedes you.
Man, it's so important because once you learn how to do it, once you learn the X's and O's and you learn how to find the after repair value, the ARV, how to find the return on investment, the ROI. Once you learn how to do those things, it's really just working hard and then treating people with dignity and respect, and treat them the way you would treat your mother if your mother was trying to sell a house, right? It's
Yeah.
like it's just being a good person, and then you start to get deals done. You start to have deals people bringing deals to you, and we're not talking about a little bit of money. Like, so for 6 months you tried and failed, but in 1 month in November you closed 3 deals. How much did those 3 deals total up to be?
30,000.
About $30,000. So what some people don't even make in a year,
Exactly.
you made in 1 month.
1 month.
That's amazing, man. And so talk to me a little bit about that. Because everybody wants to know where the leads come. Where did the leads come? How'd you find these places?
Driving for dollars.
Driving for dollars. So you were doing mostly just driving for dollars at that time.
Yep, driving for dollars and door knocking. So I would drive, buy the property, write it down, get ready to go skip trace it. Oh, I see somebody popped out. Buster Yui, turn around. How you doing?
So explain, because I know sometimes we talk about it because we just know what driving for dollars are. So kind of walk someone through your version of driving dollars. What does your day look like when you're doing that? Like how could they duplicate what you do?
So I'm driving on the east end of Plainfield. I give you the property address, 800 George Street. That was the property. It had grass growing inside of the gutters. Big red flag for me. Oh, this place is in trouble. Grass in the gutters. Oh, you're in trouble. So the grass is high and stuff everywhere. So I go knock on the door after I see the lady come out and went back in, and she was like, "Can I help you?" I said, "Ma'am, I was wondering, can I help you?" And that's the name of my company, is Let Us Help You. So she was like, "What you mean?" I said, "I see a lot going on here with your property. It looked like, you're in some type of financial distress." And she, honey, you gonna believe? And I said, "Yes, I believe. Can I come in?" And then we went through the property, and she just wanted really out. She wanted to go down south, and I negotiated where she could get $25,000 to relocate and move to sign the contract with me, and I got my money, and I got the buyer to come to the table and close the deal, and also cut her a check.
Wow! So she was at a point where, this thing was probably gonna get away from her in a little bit. Like you said, I'm just picturing grass growing in the gutters, and the house is kind of like in a disarray. Probably at a point where she doesn't have, obviously, if the house looks like that, she doesn't have the money to fix it, right?
Exactly.
And eventually, if a lot of people, especially if you haven't owned a home before, but if you own a home, it's a continuous maintenance project.
Yes.
Like, you don't just buy a home and for the rest of your life you don't have to do anything with it. You're always having to maintain it, right? So a lot of times people, they get to a point, man, where they just don't have the money to maintain it, and eventually, maybe not today, maybe not in 2 weeks, maybe not in a month, but eventually they're going to end up either losing the house, or it's going to be so hazardous for them to live in there, they're not going to want to live in it, right?
Yep.
And so,
they walk away.
Yeah, and they'll just walk away, and they get nothing for it, right?
Yep.
So you were able to help this lady out, not only sell her house, but she put $25,000 in her pocket, and you helped her solve her problem when she wanted to move down south.
Yes, yep. She
That's
moved down south with her daughter. She was gone.
That's the name of the game, man. Is helping people out, solving problems, and then you said you made $10,000 off of that property.
Yes, yep. And
Crazy.
then she put me on the next lead, was to her friend. A friend called me. I came by her house. Oh, my friend was a realtor, and she told me my house is worth such and such. So I said, okay, man, let's do a walkthrough. So we walked through the crib. Her roof was leaking in the kitchen. I said, ma'am, you know how much a roof costs? No, I said about 10, 12,000. It was a nice size house. And so we went through, had a little bit of rodents, then came in squirrels in the attic. So I'm just breaking it on down. I said, this is all stuff that has to be repaired. Did your friend tell you that this had to be repaired? And I explained to her the difference of doing business with me versus a realtor, because she wanted to know why. And I said, a realtor gets a part of your cake. I said, I don't touch your cake. Do you understand that? Oh, I said, I don't get not one slice. I said, the buyer gives me a piece of cake. So and that's how I was able to break that down to her without having to use, real estate terms. And she understood that clearly. She said, so I keep all my cake? I said, you keep all your cake. And you'll be, she was excited about that. I said, no, you keep all your cake. And so she was like, oh, where the contract at? I'll sign right here. So.
Wow. Man,
This is strategizing, man. You know.
so since then, man, I always see you. You're doing your thing. Or I see you on Facebook. We're gonna get to that. Your Instagram handles and all that stuff. But like since then, how has wholesaling? How has it changed your life? How has it really helped you out? Because you're approaching six figures, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be over six figures Friday. Friday,
Wow.
I have 4 properties closing. It'd be about 50,000.
Get this, guys. He started in March of last year, right? March, and
Yep.
and you didn't get your first deal until November, and here it is. From the time of your first deal, it hasn't even been a year from your first deal, and you're about on this Friday, after you close on Friday, you're gonna break the 6-figure barrier.
Yep.
From not knowing what wholesaling was to 6 figures.
The 6 figures. Yep.
It's crazy, man. That's crazy. Congratulations to you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man, that is I am more. People don't believe me, but I get more excited about that than anything else, man. It really fires me up, man. What do you think, as far as like the coaching calls, as far as the course is concerned? What do you think has really was the most important thing that helped you out the most? Was it the modules? Was it being able to ask questions directly when we do these coaching calls? Like, what do you think was the best part of it?
I think being able to ask the questions directly, very important.
Yeah.
And, the coaching calls is like, you need them, even though, I'm not no seasoned vet or anything, I still making mistakes, like I called you earlier. I said I had these properties, they should have been sold. I this is what we can't do. We have to continue. Remember, this is a business. You're going to run into buyers. They could be nice people, but do not build like they're your friends. This is a business. When you start doing like, a friendship, you find yourself letting them slowly tie up your property.
Absolutely.
You have to keep this as a business. Like, look, no disrespect. If y'all don't leave a deposit X, Y, and Z, y'all nice and y'all good people. But if I don't have a deposit on Thursday, I'm moving the property to somebody else. And
Absolutely.
that's what mistakes I made. And I'll tell you, I keep everything 100. And that's what mistakes I made. So I could have closed a little faster. And now what I'm doing now, and this is when you invest in your company, any property that I get that I know is a hot property that will sell just like that, I'm already going to have the title ran, because I got a title company now on the team, and I got 2 appraisers that are willing to work with me at a low fee. I'm going to have the property already appraised and title. So there's no reason why we can't close this week. Oh, I got to run my title and all that. And I met another company who does oil tank sweeps, because in New Jersey, they want you to do the oil tank sweeps. So I got this guy, give him $120. He'll do an oil tank sweep. Boom. So I got 1, 2, 3 for you. There's no excuses.
Nice.
And that's what we have to stop making. We got to get to that. You want to get to that bag and get no excuses.
Streamlining the business. So this is all the part of the evolution of not just wholesaling, but having a business, a real estate investment business, is streamlining the process. But you got to learn the basics first. Like we can't just go from nothing to, okay, how do I scale, right? How do I streamline? You got to know the basics. And man, you've definitely really been a great student. And I visited some of your properties earlier this year. I think it was back in around November, actually late last year. It was like it was cold. I remember that part. It was cold. And like, you really are a student of the game, and that's why you're able to do so well, is because you hustle your butt off. And you out there and you actually not just hustle with work, but you also hustle to learn the knowledge. So man, definitely shout out to you for doing that, man. So what do you see your future at? What are you working on now? What are you trying to work on now?
I'm coming up with something. I just wanted like a slogan for all of us wholesalers: use real estate to change people's lives. This November, I'm going to be giving out probably 40 turkeys. Link up with Amazing Taste out here in North Plainfield. They're going to cook the turkeys. We're going to give away a couple of turkeys to families in need. I'm going to give away some coats and stuff this winter. Give back. You don't have to be LeBron James or a Michael Jordan to change in your community. And I also have been teaching young brothers. I took some young brothers who were selling drugs and was on probation, going down the wrong path. I showed them how to gut a house. So I took them, I did the gut job with them, and I took them to Home Depot, and I bought them all tools and masks and let them keep it. Wow. Then after we gutted the property, I was paying them $150 a day. They was like, yo, I'm getting $150 a day. amazed at that. And then I took them to a junkyard in Middlesex, and we looked at a van. So they said, "What is this van about, bro?" I said, I'm teaching you how you don't have to go get in someone's line to get an application. Now we're going to go and I'm going to measure out this room. This is how much you're going to charge per room to gut. Now you just employed yourself. Now create your name, go get your LLC. Now you have the van, you have the tools. Now you just employed yourself.
Wow. Yo, that's amazing right there. And that's exactly what we need, man. We need to, like, this information can't be just held to ourselves. Like, we should not just hold on to this thing to ourselves and not tell people about it. We need to be able to let people know, you know, even if you don't want to wholesale, just knowing that it exists when it comes to purchasing your own private home, or just knowing that it exists so you can tell that person that you grew up with, hey, you should go check this out. Just that amount is worth its weight in gold, man, because you don't know what you don't know, right? If I'm trying to buy a home for myself, for just me and my family, I don't want to have a business. Why would I choose to pay the highest point possible retail price when I can learn how to wholesale and buy my house, and maybe I only got $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in equity, but it's better than paying full retail, right?
Right.
So,
right, exactly.
You know, yeah,
buy a tax lien like I did. My house is a tax lien.
There you go. It's like there's so many different ways that we can utilize this information besides being a full-time wholesaler or running a business. I mean, I personally think that running a business and having your own business, just like I know you believe in, is the way to go. But for some people out there that just want to make an extra $5,000, $10,000 a month,
it's there. That's easy. There. It's there. You just got to take action and get out there and do it. And you got to have the confidence. I meet so many other wholesalers. Oh, I haven't done a deal yet. Then I listen to them talk to people. They lack the confidence. Yeah. That's why they haven't done a deal. You're bumbling over your words. You're shaking like a tree. You got to have confidence. Nobody's going to, do that with you if you don't have the confidence. It's not going to work.
All right, let me hold it. Yeah, we just keep going because he's coming in for the next call.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, where can everybody find you? Where can everybody kind of get a hold of you and get in contact with you? Let's say I got a deal in Jersey and I want to bring it to you. How do they do that?
You can hit me up on Instagram at Juggnot, JUGGNOT on Instagram. And DM me, get at me, and we'll work something out. Okay, cool, man, cool. So we can get that. We'll get all the information. We're gonna put that into like the show notes, so people can pull that stuff up. And if they got a deal, they can go ahead and contact you. And man, I really appreciate your time, brother. I really appreciate you, man. Like seriously, man, because you just doing this, but not just doing this and keeping the money for yourself, but like employing other people, showing other people how to do this stuff. Like that right there is important. That's legacy that we're building. That's not just a deal or two. That's starting to build our legacy, right? And so that's what this whole thing is really about, man. So I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate you doing that. Yes, sir. We got to change lives with real estate. And that's the slogan going into 2020. Let's change lives. Let's not just make money. Let's change lives. Cool, man. All right, brother. Well, all right, brother. Thank you so much, man. And we definitely get in contact, man. We'll do another follow-up call and go from there. All right, family? Okay, bro. Salute. Everybody, good night. Listen, men lie, women lie. I get it. But the numbers don't. It's evident that the course works. The only variable is you. For once in your life, take a chance on yourself. It's free. You have absolutely nothing to lose. It's free. Go ahead and fill out the information. Man, so many people have doubted you. So many people have said that you can't do it. This is your time to prove them wrong, and it's free. Put your information down below, fill out the short questionnaire, and we are going to tailor a strategy session that's absolutely free to make sure that you can succeed. Take a chance on yourself. Do it now.